welcome to this edition of NTV Sports Page. It's Monday, the 9th of January, and I'm Curtis Morton. In our headlines, we have an update on Windies cricket, and in our feature for this evening, Elkamito Willett pays tribute to the late Alf Corriott. We'll take this break, and I'll be right back.
Yo, moving on, Mr. Killer representing full 100 for NTV. Leave this television, you tell me about this television. Yo, I tell you about this television. This is the biggest and the baddest television. Remember, yo, Nevis television, Mr. Killer said, pick up something, anything. Nevis television said, run with it.
Well, I'm back and we start with cricket. We have an update on upcoming series for the Windies teams. The inaugural ICC Women's Under-19 T20 World Cup bowls off in South Africa on January the 15th. The West Indies women, that's the senior women, head to South Africa for the Tri-Series January 21st before the ICC Women's T20 World Cup, which bowls off on February the 10th. The West Indies men will play Zimbabwe in 2 test matches at Bulawayo, and that starts on February the 2nd. The West Indies men's team will then head to South Africa to play all formats from February the 28th. In terms of the schedules, Group 2 match schedule for the Women's World Cup, the 13th of February, they play England. The 15th of February, they take on India. The 17th of February, they will take on Ireland. The 19th of February, they will take on Pakistan. In terms of the men, in terms of the matches over in Zimbabwe, the first warm-up match, there will be a warm-up match the 27th to the 30th of January. And then the first test match is from the 2nd to the 6th of February. And the second test match is from the 10th to the 14th of February. Immediately after that, they head over to South Africa. From the 21st to the 24th of February, they take on a South Africa Invitational 11. The 28th of February to the 4th of March, the first test match. The 8th to the 12th of March, the second test match. And then we have the 16th of March, the first one-day match. The 18th of March, the second one-day match. The 21st of March, the third one-day match. Then they begin the T20 encounters. The 25th of March, the first T20. The 26th of March, the second T20. And the 28th of March, the third T20. So loads of action for the Windies' various teams from the 15th January right through to March. We'll take this break and I'll be back with our feature for this evening.
My name is Ernie Stapleton. I'm the Permanent Secretary with responsibility for the Ministry of Communication and Works and Water Services. I am here at the reservoir at Hamilton Estate, and indeed we have other reservoirs throughout the island of Nevis. Now these reservoirs, they came about through a project under the CDB Water Supply Enhancement Project. And this project required certain data and information. One of the sources of data that we gathered was from the census data that tells us the number of persons living in the different areas on the island of Nevis and how many of these households are connected to the Nevis water supply system. The data is also important in terms of planning so that we can plan ahead in terms of the water supply and our water demand. The data is also important for us to see the trend that are happening in terms of the water demand on the island. This census will provide the relevant data that we need to formulate policies and to help us to plan ahead as to where we can continue to supply and transmit water on the island of Nevis. It's you, me, us, 2021 census, hashtag be counted.
Well, I'm back, and tonight cricket is in the spotlight. We recently caught up with the legendary Elkamito Willett, and he paid tribute to his now deceased teammate Alf Corriott. I have the privilege to converse with, I almost said it before it happened, but I'm predicting it. Sir El Camino Willett. I'm here with him as we would have heard the news recently of the passing of Alfred Corriott, former Montserrat, Leeward Islands and Combined Islands cricketer. Elko, you would have heard the news. When you heard the news, what were your thoughts at the time of hearing the news?
Well, I heard the news, 2 days ago. I think it was my daughter, Sanel, that told me that she heard that Corriott had passed. I felt really bad because, we got along really, really good when we played together. Well, even when I played against Montserrat, we still got along very good because, playing for the Leewards and Combined Islands together, when we played against each other, we still got along very, very well.
Okay. Memories, Elko. Memories in terms of actually playing against him. Your thoughts of him as a cricketer, firstly as a batsman, secondly as a bowler, and generally as an all-rounder.
Yeah, well, as a batsman, he was a pretty good batsman. I think he actually made 100 in Trinidad, against Trinidad 1 year. It was Shell Shield cricket then. I think he made 100. He was pretty aggressive with his batting, fairly strong fellow, eh?
Big sixes.
Yeah, hit some sixes here and there, but you dig into when there's need to. But, he basically was aggressive, I say pretty strong at the ball, pretty hard and so on. And he was a decent medium-fast bowler. I said medium-fast because he might look medium pace, but he was pretty stiff.
Okay.
Because, as I said, he was a pretty strong
Aggressive.
fella and he was aggressive. He had that aggression, so he bowled pretty quickly. And in the field, he wasn't a bad fielder either. He ran fairly fast in the field and so on, caught well and so. So he was a pretty good all-round cricketer.
Based on your assessment then, you believe that if things were different, maybe as easy as it is now to make West Indies team, then he had the potential.
Yes, he had the potential, especially with the 2020 game around, with his all-round ability. And the one-day internationals, yeah, I think he would have had a chance.
Speaking of West Indies, Willett, I think I remember a conversation. We have had many conversations. I think I remember a conversation with you way back when. And I think when that significant announcement was made, you told me that the person who brought the news to you first was Alf Corriott. Could you tell me about that?
Oh, yes. We were playing Jamaica. In St. Vincent against Jamaica. He was feeling somewhere along the boundary line. And I heard the uproar, so to speak. The person started jumping up and thing. I was wondering, what's happening?
There was a fight up there.
And then Corriott told me that some folks in the crowd told him that I had made West Indies team. So that is what caused them to, to be so joyous that day.
And I'm certain he brought the news as a happy man for you, happy for you.
Of course, he was happy, because I said we get along very, very well,
So let's go back a little bit. I think it probably would have been 1971, but you could correct me. Nevis is playing against Montserrat at Grove Park then. And I think they went to lunch at 104 for 1. And a certain gentleman by the name of El Camino Willett bowled them out. They only made 114. You remember where Alf Corriott, was he playing in that game? And you remember how he did in that game?
I know he would have played, but I can't say what he did.
Okay.
Because I just said it since 1971.
Okay, that's a long time.
50 odd years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just said they had 104 for 1 and things didn't look so good for us. I was bowling from the southern end. I had none for 29 from the southern end, and then I was shifted to the northern end.
Did you ask Ed to do it, or he just did it?
I think he just did it.
Okay.
I don't think I did ask.
Okay.
And I got 8 wickets for 2 runs from that end. I was on hat-trick 3 times.
Wow.
And didn't get it.
Wow.
Somebody dropped a catch, on one of the hat-tricks,
That was
But, it's amazing,
that was an amazing day.
Yeah. Cricket is something else, really. Sports in general,
It's something else.
Yeah, 8 for 2 runs.
Wow.
Yeah, so I finished with 8 for 31.
Let's go back to Alf Corret. I know you said he probably would have made 100 in against Trinidad, and I'm seeing something in his stats saying he made an 81 against a touring Australia team. What would be your most memorable moment with him in a match? Maybe batting with him, watching him bowl. What probably stands out as a day when you said, "Boy, that man is something else."
Well, that 100, as I told you, I'm almost certain that he made 100 off Trinidad, in Trinidad. I can't remember in there, it might have been 75 or somewhere around there, but I think he made 100 against Trinidad. It was a very good innings.
Okay.
You know, he been making like half centuries here and there, but he went all the way that time and made a century. That innings stood out. He really batted well.
And the Australian match, you recall if you were playing in that game? Because they say he made an 81 against a tour in Australia. I don't know if it's the same Australia team that you made your debut against. I'm not sure.
Well, it could have been. I don't remember that innings really, but most likely I would have been in that match. You know, whether it was 73 or a little later on.
Okay.
But most likely I would have been in that match.
Great.
You know, but I don't remember him, you know, making that 81.
Okay, so Willett, and here's a chance to maybe express condolences to his family as we mourn his loss. Another great man has passed on.
Yeah, I'd like to express my sympathy to his bereaved families. I don't know how many he has left in Montserrat and so on, but I'd like to express my sympathy to his families that he has left. I used to be in touch with him, but I haven't been in touch with him lately.
For a while.
So I don't know how he stands with wife and children and so on and so on and so on, you know, who he has left. But, you know, as I said, I'd like to express my sympathies.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Willett, for the memories, and we certainly look forward. You remember I started by saying, sir, this is 2023. We are looking forward to some good things happening, but I'm looking forward to some really good things happening this year. So, all the best.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, that's our package for this evening. I am Curtis Morton, reminding you that you can watch sports if you're not fit. But to play sports requires fitness, diligence, and sacrifice. Have a good night.